Hi everyone, happy Wednesday. It's nice to see you. Today is a balance class, a stability class. I tried to put the video up for this earlier and the video just didn't work. So we're gonna start again, which I'm actually a little happy about because it gives me time to kind of explain the rationale behind this class, which is very similar to the first class that you will do with me every month. I will let you know that I have some trip hazards in the house right now. Normally I try to film when my children are asleep. I think one's gonna walk behind me, but they're awake now, so I have some dogs and perhaps a cat that may run in here. If I lock them up, they'll start screaming and their dad's not home. So anyway, I'm 50 years old. About 4 years ago, I was in a ballet class and we were trying to come up to a releve or a best position, which hadn't really given me problems before, but all of a sudden my balance was zero. I was falling around, and if you'll notice, I even kind of still have problems getting up there. And part of that is just getting older. Ballet is one of those careers that has like a shelf life to it, and I have accepted that, but it wasn't like swan level lake anything. It just took me by surprise because my balance had deteriorated so quickly, almost like overnight. And that's when I really started paying attention to balance training, the balance training that I was doing with my patients, the balance training that I was doing in classes. Every class I teach, from chair yoga all the way up to my high level vinyasa yoga classes, all have balance built into them because I think it's so important. When we lose our balance, we lose so much of our function, and we don't think about it until it's gone. So one thing that I do to make sure skills and drills. So with balance and stability classes, it's a lot of skills and drills. What I do is every month, around the beginning of the month, so like your first stability class of the month, is I will go and do a balance test. I try to increase the time that I balance, and I'll just simply jot down, it's 4 basic exercises that I do, and I jot down my performance. That way, when I'm doing my skills and drills throughout the month, I know what to focus on, because I do these exercises myself independently of these videos. These are things that I do myself to work out. They're not glamorous, and you probably realize that by now. You don't get super sweaty, and so some people don't equate that with working out. But under the bigger umbrella of wellness, lack of balance leads to lack of function, leads to lack of quality of life. Lack of quality of life is an indicator of your wellness, your whole wellness, not just your fitness, which falls under that. Didn't mean to delve into that, but it's important to know why we do things. So today, the very first part is this is Bruce. Bruce just had a birthday. Hey, Bruce. All right, so the first part that we are going to do is just these 4 exercises that I do every month. Please feel free to hit pause to write down how you do. That can be a numerical representation, how long did I stay up, if I'm counting in my head. It can be a quality situation where you're like, somehow the little dog is out, where you're like, my quality of exercise, I'm more wobbly. It could be, hey, I balance perfectly fine when my eyes are open, but once you take my eyes away, my visual input, I start to fall. What can I do to practice that? And then just every month, at the beginning of the month, I try to, that's Orla, and I don't know why she's got her foot up. But that can be something that you just like to do. So that's what we're going to do today. And then we have a few exercises that we're going to do and some seated stuff to work on proprioception in our feet. You'll need a chair. I also have brought a blanket. That's just to have down under my feet so that I have a nice firm surface to stand on. And that can also be, I will stand on it later when we start to do some dynamic exercise, and you'll see how that comes into play. So let's go ahead and start our testing. So this is based on Vincent Bellonzi, Bellonzie, if you want to look him up. I believe he's a physical therapist. So I am going to just stand beside my chair, And I'm gonna do both of my sides without having to walk around one side or the other, okay? So it's a flamingo stance. Now the flamingo stance is typically when we would have our knees aligned with each other, so I wouldn't have my knee out here. I'd have my knee aligned and my foot up and my foot flexed. Because this is a test, you can draw that knee forward if you want to, if you feel more stable here, or you can bring it back with me, okay? For the test, I'm gonna want you to have hands on your hips maybe, and to only use this chair if you need to. That just gives us a more accurate kind of test of where we are. Now, if you know your balance is pretty wonky, if you're using an assistive device, then maybe standing behind the chair and just having both those hands so they can tip. You just want to be sure that you're not grabbing and pulling back, because most of the time if we grab the back of the chair, we're all going to go one chair on us, okay? And I don't want that to happen. So let's just start. We're going to go side to side. I'm going to start with my left leg. So I'm going to stand on that right leg and bring my left leg up to my flamingo stance. So the very first one is flamingo stance. Our eyes are open. Arms are either out with those platters, or arms can be at your hips. I'm actually going to move forward a little bit so I can, got them bad eyes too, so I can count down how long we're actually standing. So let's go ahead and start now, and we're going to try to do this for 20 seconds. So here we are. Eyes are open. You're just looking ahead, perhaps soft eyes. And I start to wonder about the quality. So is my ankle wiggling? And if you had seen the video from last night, what you would have saw was a lot different than what you're seeing now, where I look pretty stable, right? I'm gonna put my foot down, shift over to the other side. That was 20 seconds, and we're gonna get ready to go on the other side. So tap back, lift up, pull your belly up and in, and let's go. So last night, even in this stance, my ankle was all over the place. Just this is what my balance looked like last night. Maybe that's why my camera was like, we can't put this up. It looks ridiculous. That happens. Your balance, the quality of your balance is going to change pretty rapidly throughout the day. So let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We went a little longer than I wanted us to on that side. Okay, check that off. So that is your flamingo stance, just your one leg balance, which is the root. So in yoga, we talk about Tadasana being the root of all our standing poses. In our balance exercises, that flamingo stance, that one leg stance, here, but standing on one leg, that's where it's all at. We're going to do the same thing, but we are going to take away one of our sensory inputs. We're going to take away our vision, okay? I'll do it with you. I'll keep my eyes closed this time and just count. So, once again, make sure you know where your chair is. And know this too, this isn't a life or death situation. If you feel like you're going to fall, open your eyes and put your foot down. And then check it off and say, today I felt like I was going to fall and I put my foot down. Then you can progress from there, okay? So go ahead, get your flamingo ready. Get your hands ready. Let's go ahead, close our eyes, and we're just going to count back from 20. So 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, open it up, shake your leg, and let's talk about a couple of things that may happen. The very first thing is taking that visual input away makes us a lot more wobbly. Okay, it makes us super wobbly, and that's fine. The next thing that happens with me is I start to fall towards my leg. Okay, that's understandable. But I don't know if you noticed, if you were just watching with your eyes open, I started sticking my leg out behind me inadvertently, and then I tried to pull it back in. Sticking my leg out is my body's way of compensating and creating more balance. It's almost like an opposite lever. Let's try the other side, okay? So, gonna stand up, and I know visual and proprioception are both issues for me, so I expect this was going to come. Hands on your hips. Let's close our eyes. Here we go. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put it down. And that's also why I love balance so much. As you noticed, there were a couple of times there that I had to stop counting because I was so fixated on standing upright that my brain shuts down and is like, I don't know what is after 14 going reverse. And that's my brain just trying to compensate and be like, all right. Now, the next one. So that was your vision. And if you had problem there with your vision being taken away, just make a note of that, and we can add exercises into work vision. One of them is just closing your eyes and standing on one foot. Now, we're going to do the next two kind of work together for vestibular system, and that's our ears. So if we have the crystals in our ears get kind of unaligned, I don't have a word for it, and you start to have vertigo, so things like that, those beautiful little crystals are actual crystals in our ears. We're so wonderfully made, so beautifully made. But we're going to do the head part with both feet on the ground, hand on the chair, just so we know it's coming, and then it won't be so shocking when we do it with one foot. If you just want to watch Damie do it on one foot and laugh at me, I'm okay with that because it's going to look super funny. Because vestibular, so when I'm teaching bar, I get really sweaty and the water goes into my ears, and as soon as that starts to happen, it's in this ear. As soon as that starts to happen in class, all my balance goes. It's the funniest thing for my students because I can be balanced, and as soon as I start to sweat, I start doing this. Just got to keep working it, guys. Wonderfully, beautifully made. All right, so the first thing is head tipping. Now, we're going to do it slow at first because I want us to, we haven't really warmed up our neck, but we're just going to go side, side. Now, you're not in yoga class. You're not in a stretch class. So you don't have to try to put your ear on your shoulder. But this tipping back and forth gets that vestibular thing going. Eyes are wide open because that helps make you a little dizzy, right? So it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to neutral. Now look over shoulder. Back over shoulder, back, back, back. Remember, you don't have to push your range of motion here. This is a nice, comfortable place to go, not any weird stretching. Eyes are open, whoop, 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 whoop. All right, the goal is to try to make yourself a little dizzy. For this exercise, we're only gonna hold that balance for 10 seconds because we have 2 to do. So it'll be 10 tipping, 10 like this. And it's gonna feel like 100 seconds. So go ahead, get your flamingo set up. Pull your belly up and in. So now, whereas before I was just kind of standing on one leg, I'm now going to actually pull my belly up. Fight that urge. I meant to tell you that. As soon as my leg goes back, I lock my knee. So I'm fighting that urge to be on a locked knee. Hand at the ready. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There it is. Ridiculous, right? But that's how it works. Let's do the other side. Also remember, foot could go here. So here, maybe I would tap down, not even putting weight on my foot. It's just there like a training wheel. Okay? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me count us down. Ready? Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. So what this little test has told me is that the strength in my ankles, strength in my legs, those are fine. I'm okay there. I can stand like this indefinitely. But once you start to take away my sensory input, that's where my issues start to occur. which is fine and dandy because I can walk around and keep my eyes open, keep my ears open. But in situations where my ears get clogged, we live in Florida, lots of allergies. That can really mess your balance up. So having compensation skills, practicing these drills will help us for our real life situation. All right, so now we're gonna move on to a few exercises. And since we did that test, we don't have to do too many exercises today. So here's why I have my rug. Now, for this is what we're gonna call kind of an advanced or supervised exercise. I know my balance very, very well. It's my job. If you're going to try to do this on a surface, try to do your exercises on a off the floor surface, I would really like you to have your assistive devices with you, your chair, your friend, whoever. Don't do these alone on the blanket. Now, for my younger people though that are watching, so my people that haven't yet started to have balance issues, try it on the blanket and see what happens. If you haven't started having, and I guess I shouldn't add age to that. I know people that are young that also have terrible balance for one reason or another. So balance is good, try the blanket. Balance iffy, stay off the blanket. I'm gonna see what happens. So the blanket is like a real life kind of functional thing, because I've said this before. In a perfect world, we walk on these nice, flat, even surfaces where there's no chance that we're gonna step on a curb wrong or anything like that. We don't live in that world. We live in a world of uneven sidewalks. I live in Avondale. All those big, beautiful trees just cracking our sidewalks all up. If it's dark, it's hard for me to walk on them. So I sometimes walk in the street. So here we are. We're gonna move back and forth on the blanket or on the floor. You're just sliding back and forth. We're gonna do some hip adductors. Those are, to me, one of the best exercises that you can do. It really works our outer hip and our inner hip, which is great to keep us upright. So hands on the hip, and I'm just gonna take my leg out. 8, 7, like this. Toes towards me. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's shift our weight and try the other side. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to do another set of those. So shake it off. If I'm on my blanket, I'm going to step up and down off my blanket or my weird surface just to kind of play around with the surface. And let's do it again. Okay? Belly up and in. Hands on your hips. Let's take it out. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Woo! All right. So we have before done this kind of hip nonsense, right? These hip rolls. We are going to do a different one today, and it's a full circle with the hips, and we're going to end up doing this with our arms. So do this with your arms with me. Make a circle. Make a circle. All right, so let's add the leg. Take that left knee, go all the way over to the right. Arms up and bring it down. Take it all the way over. See, it can be a challenge. Now remember, in balance, the slower, the harder it is. So we slow this move down. And by the way, this is one of my favorite things to do in the swimming pool. That adds a whole nother level to this exercise. Around, last time, and around. All right, so I am going to move my blanket. All right, and what I'm going to do is some side steps. My bathtub side steps. So hands out, bend your knees, lift it up and go over, and then step into your bathtub. Lift it up, go over, step into your bathtub. Back the other way. Up and over, step into bathtub, up and over, step into bathtub. Here we go. Up, over, step into your bathtub. Okay, so we have one more, and going back the other way with our arms out. Then we're going to change our arms. Out. So right now you've got that long lever. And by all means, if you use this long lever, keep going. Or bring your hands to your chest. Short. This doesn't make it a little harder. Short. This does not replace the use of bars in your shower. If you are worried about falling, and if you live independently, and you really worry, then what I would like you to do is talk to your doctor. Bring it in. Take a breath, get your chair. Talk to your doctor and see what the chances are that you could get an evaluation in your home, an occupational therapy evaluation. Tell the doctor you want to age in place, and you would like someone to come in and make some recommendations for some things that you can do in your household to make independent living more accessible. I'm going to tell you right now, in the bathroom where we fall a lot, and you can have things put in like bars, grab bars. Make sure that you have non-slip surfaces. Shower chairs. Shower chairs are lovely, especially for things like energy conservation. Those hot showers that feel so great to us zap the energy out of us and can create a fall hazard. But if you got that chair, hot shower, sitting in your chair, everything's nice, cool down, then get up and get out. But you can get, in some cases with some insurance, you can ask your doctor to get a referral to occupational therapy and see if you can get someone out and make some recommendations for your home. Those can run, expensive or very, very, very cheap little hacks. It's a great thing. So I have the blanket under my feet now, and that is just so that I can sit on my chair and still have my feet flat on the ground. I want to run through these exercises with you, and what I would like you to do is kind of watch this last 8 minutes, because these can be done a lot slower than what we have time for, and these are great things to do when you're watching TV and such. So the first thing are big toe lifts. I have to always look down at my toes to get my big toes to come up. So I'm just trying to lift big toes up by themselves, keep my toes down, and then big toe comes down. So now I can sit up, lift the big toe, bring it down. Lift the big toe, bring it down. Lift the big toe, bring it down. Now I'm going to push the big toe into the ground, lift all 4 of my little toes, bring them down. Lift, and I'm just trying to lift the toes. All the rest of my feet touching the ground. Lift and lift. Okay? Now spread your toes out. Lift and spread those toes as far as you can and put them down. Toe waves. So you've seen at sporting events where everyone does this and it makes a big wave. We're going to try to do that with our toes. So we lift the big toes, then the little toes. So you're making a wave with your feet. Woo, this is hard for me. Some people can start with their pinky toe and go over to the other foot. I just lift my big toes and then try to lift my little toes and try to roll that way. All right. It's harder to do, right? So the next thing, and this is the coolest part. This is called center of pressure. And I'm actually going to move my blanket to scoot forward for this one. So center of pressure is something that happens with our feet where we really start to build up proprioceptive, the understanding proprioceptive response. My feet touch the ground, they send messages up through my nerve system to my brain, kind of lets me know what's going on. We're going to run through these pretty quick, and then this is where I want you to come back and practice this yourself. You are going to put pressure on the areas of the foot that I ask you to. So right now it's going to be the big toe, mound of the big toe, push it down, then the mound of the little toe, okay, and then let's start all over again. The ball of the big toe, push the ball of the big toe down, Now, ball of the little toe. Now the entire ball of both feet press into the ground. Just the ball. So right now I can tell on my, what is actually my right side, but looks like the left side to you, it's having a lot of problem with that. Take note. Okay? Now, bring it to your inner heels. Try to just press through the inner heels. Press through the outer heels. Now press through both heels. Okay, so let's run through that again. Ball of the big toe. Ball of the little toe. Ball of your foot. Inner heel. Outer heel. Heel. Okay, and then relax. Go ahead and tap your feet out. Stick that left foot out for me. Start to draw some circles. Go back the other way. Let's point flex. And let's do the other foot. Roll. Roll back. Point and flex. Okay. Bring your feet parallel. We're going to lift the toes. We're going to take our heels out. Put the toes down. Lift your toes. Bring your heels back in. Put your toes down. Lift. Make that V. Toes down. Lift. Bring it in. Toes down. One more time. Lift. Take it out. Toes down. Lift. Bring it in. Toes down. Okay guys, there we have it. There you have some balance stuff that you can do, especially at the beginning of the month. With everything that goes on in my life, I have to do things on specific days and be like, oh, okay, it's the first, I've got to do this. I hope you found some of that beneficial. If you have any questions about your balance, please let me know. I try to, when I do classes, let you know the specific exercises and what they're targeting. So is this something that is going to help with my vision? Is this something that's going to help my vestibular system? Or like when we did adductors, we know that that is something that's going to build strength in the legs to help us stand up. You're on one leg. Okay, so that's just your all over sensory balance. But you could close your eyes here, hold on to something if you need to, and add that element in. So I'm going to practice my visual sense deprivation as well. So sorry it was a little late, but I hope you enjoyed this. I will see you tomorrow for chair yoga, and I will see you on Friday for flex. I hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.